Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. This is Tarot by Melissa, and for today's video, we're going to be looking into what is next for you in your career. So we'll take a look to see what energies, events, situations of significance are potentially presenting themselves to you when it comes to career. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you feel guided to view this video, then there may likely be a message that's here for you. Getting into our disclaimers, keep in mind this is a general reading, so not every message within your selected pile may be specifically for you. Always use your intuition with these general pick a card readings. Take what resonates for you, leave behind anything that doesn't. If you did want to book a personal reading, all the details on how you can book one with me will be linked in the description box down below. Personal readings are always a great way to get a more specific and accurate read on your own personal energy and your own personal situation. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our pile selection. We have a choice between 3 different readings for today, so you're going to pick whichever color or card you're the most drawn to. For pile number 1, we have this red Merlot color. For pile number 2, we have Indigo. And for pile number 3, we have this Tincture color. So I want you guys to take a deep breath. Think about what's next for you in your career. Go ahead and select the card or crystal that you feel the most intuitively connected to. Once you've made your choice, scroll down to the description box to locate the timestamp that will take you to your selected reading. See you there. Hey, pile 1, if you guys selected this red Merlot color, this is going to be what's next for you in your career. So, starting us off, we have obviously the energy of the red Merlot, which is highlighting relationships here. We have the South Node coming up. And we have Chiron coming up. Very interesting. Okay. Wow, pile 1. What's next in career? So, definitely feels that there is some karmic energy that's being worked through for you in your career. It's interesting because I know a lot of people watch the love readings here on YouTube, and you talk a lot about like karmic relationships in the context of love, but this is like some sort of a karmic career situation that I'm seeing here. And I do feel like it has to do with relationships or a relationship of significance. Now, we're going to get more information here in a second, but this could have to do with like a coworker. This could have to do with like a company that you work for and some sort of karmic tie to the organization. Either way, with the South Node and with Chiron coming up, pile 1, I don't want to sugarcoat it. Like, I do think that this next phase that's coming up for you in your career is going to be a challenging one. I think this is going to be a challenging one because with Chiron, this is telling me that something about what's going on in your career has been really triggering you. Probably even coming into this reading, you're probably here because you're going through a tough situation here. Chiron is the wound. It's the wounded healer. Everybody has a Chiron placement in their chart. You guys might check your own birth chart to see where your Chiron placement is to try to gain better context into what that means for you on a personal note. But showing up here in this reading, there's some sort of a trigger that's coming up for you with regard to your career. And I do feel it has to do with relationships, some sort of connection or relationship at work. The South Node coming up here is really asking you to make sure that you're not repeating the same mistakes from the past, right? What this is really showing me is that this group has already learned this lesson. You've already been through a situation like this before, but something similar is coming back around. It could be the same exact situation that you've continued to be in. It could be a new situation where some sort of repeating energy of the past is popping up for you. And the South Node is basically saying you've already learned this lesson. You already have these skills. So the guidance here with your overall energy is about doing things differently based off what you have learned already, so that you don't feel like triggered or repeat the same mistakes or the same energies that you've already done. Let's get a little more info from the tarot next. So for pile 1, please tell us a little bit more about what's next for them in their career. Certainly seems to be about relationships at work. What's next for pile 1 in their career, please? Clarifying these energies. We've got the 6 of Pentacles. The 3 of Pentacles. Lots of teamwork energy. Yeah. Page of Pentacles. Lots of Pentacles coming up. You know, I definitely feel like this is actually a really beautiful opportunity for you guys to do things differently, okay? And I'm really not seeing a lot of like negativity here with the tarot. So I want to reassure you guys that like, even though these energies can feel a little bit challenging at times, I don't see that there's a lot of immediate threats here, just in the immediate energies that we're getting, okay? The 3 of Pentacles is definitely highlighting relationships here. I think that this group is going to be working with other people. Working in a team environment is really important in this next phase of your career. I actually kind of feel for this group like this is an opportunity for you to heal some wounds around partnerships, professional partnerships at work, with whatever it is that you guys do. We have this energy of working together as a team, collaborating on something. For some of you with this 3 of Pentacles, this could be something quite creative in nature, because sometimes the 3 of Pentacles talks about creativity. But I'm kind of drawn to the fact that these 3 people in this card look like students. Some of you guys could be starting something new out of school, or this could have to do with something on the collegiate level for some of you. And with the Page of Pentacles, it is something new. It is a new sort of endeavor for you. This is kind of like, so the card really says it right here, apprentice or internships, work communication, strategic planning. So when we see the Page of Pentacles, this is when we're starting off on a new path, something where we're still in the learning zone. And I think you guys are going to be in the learning zone with this group of people. But the great thing with the 6 of Pentacles being here is that it seems like this is a very supportive work environment. This is about generosity. This is about checking to make sure things are equal, you know, that we have an equal exchange of effort and energy being placed into a situation. That could be part of the trigger for this group, is like maybe you guys have been in team situations in the past where like you have felt out of place in the group, or maybe you have felt like people don't understand you in the group with Chiron here. I could also see it being a situation where this group has felt like there's been an imbalance of like effort in team projects in the past. And, you know, if it's the same kind of group, I could see where this would be very triggering. If you're working with the same people and you've had a bad experience in the past, could definitely see where it would be challenging energy to revisit, but you're getting to revisit it for a reason, to work through this karmic energy and to learn something more about yourself and maybe the way that you're connecting in relation to other people at work. So let's see, pile 1. What else does pile 1 need to know? What's next in career for pile 1? Clarifying energies, please. The receiver. Enjoys gifts and surprises, is comfortable taking what is given, likes when others take the initiative. See, there's like this energy of you wanting other people to be able to do more so that maybe you don't have to do as much. We have new habits. It's time to shift out of old energy, new morning, night routine, new job, new route to work, feng shui, working out, turning hobbies into business. So it's like, yeah, I feel like this is just about you guys. It's very much confirming what I said about the South Node, which is just about like breaking old patterns, moving away from old habits. And it does seem to be around the efforts that are put into things. Let's see what else we got. We'll pull one more of these. Number 1, motivates your independent qualities, self-starter. We also have pushed out. Your spirit team is nudging you. These obstacles are triggering you out of a situation that does not serve you in your highest good. Yes, triggered is the word, pile 1. This situation is triggering you so that you can make some really impactful changes. It's pushing you out of your comfort zone, right? So this is really interesting because we have the receiver here, which is kind of talking about this energy of leaning back and allowing others to kind of step in and do more of the work. But then we also have this energy of the number one, which is talking about motivation of being independent, being a self-starter. So I think the issue here with the Six of Pentacles is there has been a struggle to maintain balance in these types of work team connections or situations, right? Maybe you guys have sometimes had the tendency to do too much, or maybe sometimes you've had the tendency to lean back too much. It could be really either way, depending on your personal situation. And again, it's a general reading, so everybody's situation might be a bit different here. But the balance of things is really important. It's not always good to only be the receiver and let others do the work, but it's also not always good to be, trying to go at it alone and burning yourself out here. I'm really being drawn to how the Six of Pentacles is talking about a helping hand. So you being more of a helping hand, or you allowing others to be more of a helping hand, is super significant in this upcoming cycle for you, pile one. Let's see. Let's pull a couple of these archetype cards next. What's next in career, please, for pile number one? What do they need to know? We have the Martyr. See, you guys, I think, have this tendency to this is like, it says right here, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause, addiction to self-pity. These cards can be really dramatic and blunt, so please don't take that super personal if that doesn't really vibe. If you need the blunt message, it's there for you. But what I feel with this card is it's trying to say is, like, I think that you guys are working on this energy of not... The martyr is somebody who's like laying down their life. Like, they're literally being like the sacrificial lamb for a cause. And I kind of feel like with that receiver energy popping up for you, it's like it's time to turn the corner on this martyr energy and really it's talking about self-pity, right? You guys don't feel good when you feel like when you're putting all of your effort and energy, exerting yourself into these situations and maybe not getting the results that you want, or feeling like you're sacrificing a lot and not getting the results you need, or your personal life is going down the drain because of all these sacrifices. Like, I think what Spirit is trying to get you to understand is that you don't need to sacrifice. You know what I mean? Like, it's great to be dedicated to your work. It's great to be dedicated to causes. You guys are an independent, motivated individual that stands out, but it's time to bring some balance back into this equation and allow others to help you. You can't do it all. You know what I mean? Like, nobody can. So I think it's this chapter in your career that's coming up is really going to be about trusting other people and letting other people do their part and trusting that they can do it. We have the Servant. Delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. This says using lack of money as an excuse to not move forward with life. See, the thing is, there's a lot of earth energy here in your spread, pile one. I think that you guys like to be of service to others. I think it's very natural for you to serve other people. It's in your nature, right? But again, we're working on really bringing back that balance into play here so that you're not overstressed or overworking yourselves. I think for some of my pile ones, I think that the energies are inversed, right? Because majority of you, what I'm really picking up on is this energy of you to really do too much and not allow others to help. And it causes you to burn out. It causes you to get triggered. It impacts your relationships with other people because they're not being allowed to be included, right? But I think there is a few of you that chose pile one where it's the opposite, where Spirit is asking you to step into more of this service mode and to kind of balance the scales back out in the other way if you've been leaned back into this receiver mode a little bit more. Okay. All right, let's pull. We have a couple more decks. Tell me a little bit more for pile number one. What's next in their career? We have short term. We have money and finances. Makes sense. You guys have a lot of money energy coming up here with the Three of Pentacles. So definitely seems like this could be a shorter term cycle for you, or a shorter term project that you're working on. Definitely something where earning a little bit of extra cash or money could be the focus here, which, I mean, a lot of work is that way, right? We kind of have to do that. Most people work to earn their money. There are people that don't. They have other methods, but let me see something here. We're going to just end with this Kipper deck to see what other energies you need to be aware of. What's next in career for pile 1, please? We have the main female. We have imprisonment. And we have the house. Do some of you guys work from home? That could be the thing with the house. I'm looking it up really quick in the little guidebook because I haven't used this deck a lot. So the house is talking about a situation with a lot of potential. It talks about home, property, real estate, land dealings, and buildings. It can also represent safety, family, coziness, and security. The things you hold and that hold you. Long-term investments of resources and energy. So it's like there could be some very literal interpretations of that for some of you guys. This says it's also talking about a secure and safe job, or a job with real estate. So that could be a thing for some of you guys too. Maybe you work in like real estate, or you work with something to do with those topics. But it definitely feels for a lot of you guys like maybe part of this next chapter is either moving into a secure job that's long lasting for you. Maybe there's something connected to buying a home with your intention of taking this job. But it's also about, like, for some of you, being at a place for a long time that you feel really comfortable in, that you feel at home with. You've been at this place for a while. I think this imprisonment energy is really, and with the main female being next to it with the imprisonment energy, I think it's talking about, like, you know, I see this main female as you, my viewer, regardless of your gender. You are in control of this situation. The challenges that you've been facing, this karma that you're working out, you have the key to get out of this. You know what I mean? Because this talks about feeling stuck or feeling like we're at a victim of circumstance here. I'm also being really drawn to this little mouse, which makes me think of really being too focused on the little nitty gritty details instead of being able to kind of zoom out and take a look at the bigger picture. What I feel that this group, pile 1, my viewer, tends to do, I feel like you guys really like to be of service to others. You like to be the leader. You take initiative and just complete the work. Instead of looking at it from the bigger picture of, like, how can I delegate some of these tasks to my team so that we can perform better as a whole and I'm not becoming the martyr or, like, ending up as a victim in the situation because I haven't enlisted support that I need, right? So the mouse is like fixating too much on the little details and getting yourself stuck in analysis paralysis. Does that make sense? So yeah, pile 1, this looks like a really interesting chapter or cycle that's coming up for you. I'm really excited to hear your comments and to see your comments below. Please let me know. How does it resonate? What's been going on in your career? What are some of your goals? Do you like readings like these? Do you have any other types of career readings you would like for me to record? Comment your suggestions below because I love recording topics related to career. All right, thanks guys. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye. Hey, pile number 2, if you guys selected this indigo shade, this is going to be your career reading. So let's take a look and see what's next for you. So the indigo color is talking about clairvoyance. It's kind of the key word that's here. We have the energy of the opposition here for you as well. Ooh, and then we also have the 8th house. Got a little flip in my stomach when I pulled that card out. Okay, so there could be something exciting coming up for you guys or something causing you a little bit of nervousness. Okay, so clairvoyance is talking about clear knowing, being able to see very clearly and trust in your intuition that everything is how it should be. you guys could be doing something that is involved in like the occult or spirituality, with the 8th house being here. Like those types of themes kind of fall under the 8th house. But the 8th house can also talk about things like shared resources. So think of like, you know, loans, taxes, debts, inheritances, things like that. Even shared resources with other people, like spouses or things like that. So this is kind of playing into your career energy. I do think a lot of you guys are into like psychic work or something along those lines. But if that's not the case, disregard. This card of Indigo is talking about trusting your inner guidance, right? Trusting your gut and trusting that you already know the answers within you and that you don't necessarily need to look externally because you've got it, okay? With this opposition energy coming up here, this is usually talking about us going through a challenging time. And so this could be why Spirit is specifically highlighting this intuition for you, because you might feel like you've got some competing priorities coming up. You might feel like there's an inconvenient challenge being thrown onto your path. And there might be some lack of familiarity around how to really navigate a situation like this. But the Indigo card is saying that like this situation is going to help you become stronger, right? It's helping you to strengthen your inner guidance, strengthen your intuition. It's helping you to grow and change. This opposition energy helps us to grow. Okay, so let's continue. Let's get a little more insight here for pile 2. What's next in career for pile 2? What's next in career for pile 2? Scorpio energy with that 8th house for sure. Oh. Well, this one fell out of the deck, so I think we're going to take it. 9 of Pentacles. What's next in career for pile 2? The Tower. Oh my goodness. We have the 7 of Swords. Okay, interesting energy. So some of you guys within this group could be entrepreneurs with that 9 of Pentacles coming up, or maybe moving into a period of entrepreneurship, or kind of trying to get a business off the ground and start working for yourself. Definitely is interesting with that 8th house being here, because like I was saying, this can talk about like taxes and loans, and a lot of that stuff can come into play when it comes to running a business. In fact, it does come into play oftentimes when you're running a business. So I do see this desire here with the 9 of Pentacles to be more independent and to have the ability to enjoy more financial freedom. The 8th house, I think, could also even be like the stock market and things like that too, potentially. I could see that being a thing where some of you guys might want to just find other sources of investing or earning money so that you can enjoy a nice life, if you're not already doing so coming into this reading. But I got to tell you guys, we have some really interesting energy here with the Tower and the 7 of Swords. I think this is where this opposition is coming in, right? Because we've got this beautiful, fruitful energy of entrepreneurship or feeling financially stable and secure, enjoying the fruits of your labor and desiring this or being in this energy. But then we see the Tower and the 7 of Swords, which is kind of like the opposite of this kind of relaxed luxury energy. The Tower is coming in to shake things up. So I think this is where that opposition is coming from. Again, it's like there's something that's happening with you in your career that maybe you're not seeing as coming for you, relating to these themes of the 8th house. The thing about the Tower that I have to say is like, you know, the Tower is sort of like the universe's divine intervention. It's redirecting you onto the right path, right? So it's happening for a reason. I think you guys are going to see the spiritual reason behind it with that Indigo, the clairvoyance being here. But ultimately, this Tower energy is coming through because whatever you guys have been doing to build this may not be completely solid or stable for the long term, right? There's something about it that needs to be revisited and rebuilt from the ground up before you're going to be able to feel stable again. We have the 7 of Swords. So this is an energy that feels like I mean, you guys can see the keywords here. We have shady dealings, criminal behavior, suspicious activities. On the lighter side of this card, this can also talk about like being strategic, moving in silence, making sure that you're not necessarily telling everybody everything that you're doing. And I do kind of see that here for this group. Like whatever you're going through, it definitely feels that you're kind of trying to handle it on your own. Not everybody needs to know about it. You might be keeping it a secret, even from people that are really close to you. 8th house, it can be kind of secretive as well, right? So it could be that some of these things that are listed here are revealed to you through this tower moment that you weren't aware of too, right? I mean, you hear about stuff like this all the time where, you know, people are running businesses and then they find out that someone who was supposed to be helping them, maybe with some of these shared resources type energies, was like laundering money. I'm not saying that's happening, but I'm just using that as like an example to illustrate. It feels like something is being revealed to you that has been kept in the dark is what I'm getting at with this. Okay. So pile 2, tell us more. What's next for pile 2 in their career, please? The 3rd house, the communicated language that dominates your character. So communication being really important here in this next cycle. Let's see. We have the 10th house. Your social status and what you'll be recognized for in the world. So there's something about this could be really public too, because the 10th house talks about public image, the legacy you leave behind as well, which makes sense with the 9 of Pentacles being here, especially if you guys are wanting like entrepreneurship to be your goal. There's probably something that you really want to be known for with the 10th house being here. I also want to say that the tower doesn't necessarily have to be a physical event that's happening. It can also be a realization about something. It's where you look at something, you experience something and you're like, all of a sudden you're just kind of shaken to your core because you start to perceive it totally differently than you did before. Let's see what else. The receiver enjoys gifts and surprises, is comfortable taking what is given, likes when others take initiative. See, there's something about like you receiving something with this 8th house energy. Again, the 8th house is shared resources. So you could be receiving some sort of resources during this time as well to support you as you move through these situations here. And maybe the communication is you not being sure if you want to ask for that help. We have time. Divine timing is in the works. This eternal clock creates the perfect timing for each individual season. So kind of like I was saying with the tower being divine intervention, it's happening in divine timing. All this is happening for a divine purpose, a higher purpose, which I think you guys know with the clairvoyant energy being here. So for pile number 2, tell us a little bit more. What's next for pile 2 in their career? The detective. See, something is being revealed to you guys that you were not aware of before with that 7 of Swords. Great powers of observation and intuition, like the clairvoyance, desire to seek out the truth, you see. But this one also talks about voyeurism, falsifying information with the 7 of Swords. Like, I do think that for some of you guys, there could be something that's been kind of shady that's been going on behind the scenes that you were not aware of until now. We also have the thief here at the bottom of the deck, right? See, I think you guys have someone around you that's not really on the up and up. Okay, let's see. Pile 2, what's next in their career, please? We have the child orphan. Independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving, feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate families. There's somebody in your life, I feel, pile 2, that fits this description. Like maybe somebody that you've really trusted, somebody that you've been really helping, from a work perspective, but it's not necessarily been the most it gives me the energy of like really trying to help somebody give them a leg up, and them kind of like taking advantage of you. It's like an inappropriate relationship is being revealed here. I'm like super curious, Pile 2, to hear from you in the comments. Like this is just such a unique situation. Let's see. Do you guys run businesses? I mean, that's how it feels to me, but tell us a little bit more, please, for Pile 2. What's next for them in career? For some of you guys, it could be like if you don't own your business, but maybe there's been a situation where you've been at work and they're like, oh, everyone's a family here. And that only works until it doesn't. You know what I mean? We have drive results. We have promotion coming up. Interesting. But look, we have HR issues and red flags here at the bottom of the deck. So it's like there is... I don't know. Pile 2, this is so interesting. Like, there's something about this Tower energy and this change with the Seven of Swords that is... I don't think for all of you viewing Pile 2 that it's somebody else like around you. I think for others of you watching Pile 2, again, it's a general reading, but for others of you that are viewing this reading, I feel like it's you being strategic about mitigating this change. And I do feel it could be something to do with getting your coin or wanting a certain result with something. There's promotion activity being here. This is about taking something to the next level, accepting a higher level position. And maybe there's some sort of, you know, like more money that you're receiving here, or some additional support or resources that you're receiving here as well, or asking for. But maybe you've got to be quite strategic about how you're going about this and really make sure that your communication skills are on point. Let's see, Pile 2. Tell us a little bit more. We're just going to close it out with this Kipper deck here. What's next for Pile 2 in their career? We have pathway. Let's see. Main male. See? There is somebody false around you, Pile 2. I knew it. We have poverty here at the bottom of the deck. I feel like some of you guys have someone around you that's stealing money from you or something like that. Like this little orphan right here is reminding me of this little guy right here, the child orphan that came up. It just seems like there's somebody around you. Maybe you promoted this person. I don't know, but they're not being totally true to you. And I think this is all going to be revealed in divine timing. And I think you guys probably already know about it coming into this reading. I don't think you would have clicked on it if you weren't anticipating like something is a little off here, okay? So we've got the main male. This could be the person, the false person, with it being right next to each other. This can also just be your energy as the viewer, the main male here. But the pathway is really interesting because this is talking about change, right? If we take a look, we've got this beautiful path illuminated forward for us with these beautiful butterflies here. Butterflies obviously symbolize change and transformation in our lives. And this card, if I remember correctly, I'm going to check the guidebook really quick, but I think it actually gives a 2-year timeline to it. If I remember, let me look really quick. Let me not misinform. Okay. it's a long road. It also represents distance and a good length of time. This leads to a timing hint of 1 to 2 years. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Slow growth of partnerships and long-term career planning. Patience, 2 years. Something that will take a long time. It also stands for putting something at a great physical distance, which is kind of interesting too. So it feels like whatever is happening for you is divinely guided. It's happening and being revealed in divine timing. Pile 2, there is going to be an element of rebuilding this in a way, but you're going to be, and it's going to take patience. But I think it's ultimately with the Tower, it's supposed to be a change for the better. It's supposed to push you out of the comfort zone or push you into, like, redirect you to a better path toward healing the situation. So you might be losing someone in your life who's being revealed to be a false person, but ultimately it's so that you can know this information and be able to move forward on a better path. So Pile 2, I am dying to hear from you in the comments. Please let me know what's been happening with your career. Please let me know what you feel this is referring to in your career. How does it resonate? If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so you'll be updated whenever I post the next reading. And I do look forward to seeing you then. Bye. Hi, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. So we're looking to see what's next for you in your career. So starting us off, we have the message of Tincture, which says find the cure. It's this beautiful kind of yellow color. We have the 6th house of sustainability coming through. And then we also have Capricorn energy coming through for you as well. So lots of earthy energy. 6th house being ruled by Virgo, Capricorn here. I'm also kind of guided to say with this Tincture being here and the 6th house, there could be something about health or the medical field that's tied into your reading, Pile 3. So maybe some of you guys are working in the medical field, and that could be really anything medical. I mean, it's a general reading, so take it as it resonates. But for others of you, there could be an energy of like your health and wellness being a focus as you're navigating this next phase of your career as well. Maybe you guys, for Pile 3, coming into this reading, maybe you haven't been feeling your best, or maybe there's been something that's been bothering you. But it's not medical advice. It's not like a health reading, but I feel like there could be like maybe a tie in there for some of you if you don't work in the medical field. Now, metaphorically speaking, finding a cure can be about finding the solution, finding the remedy, finding a way to heal something. So I think a lot of you guys are actually moving into a time period where something around your career is going to be healing for you. Some sort of relief is coming, is kind of what I get from this. Relief is the word. So the 6th house is all about your kind of day-to-day work. So whatever you guys do for like your day job, I like to call it my muggle job because it's like something I do in the muggle world that's not reading tarot cards, right? So there's this energy of like your day-to-day work, your day-to-day routine really being highlighted here. So there could be something about your routine that's changing. There could be something about your routine that's changing for the better with you finding the cure here, finding a little bit better balance for yourself. We also have Capricorn energy, which is great. You know, this is a great energy to have in career. It talks about really being ambitious and driven and working really hard, being steady and steadfast and goal-oriented in all of your goals. So definitely seems like you guys are moving into a period of time where you're going to be working really hard, but there's also an element of really wanting to ensure that you have a balanced routine and that you're moving forward and resolving and healing any issues from the past. So let's continue, Pile 3. What's coming up next in career for Pile 3, please? Ooh. We have the Death card. What else? Ooh. Okay, we have the World. Love this. Ooh, we have the Nine of Swords. This is so interesting, you guys. You have some nerves around this, I think, with the Nine of Swords, but this looks like a really beautiful new beginning for you. With the Death card and the World being here, this is so powerful. Like, you guys are moving through a big change, I feel. I really feel like this change, it's bringing a lot of hope. I really feel like you are healing something about your career. You're healing something, remedying something about your career that just really has not been working for you, okay? And because I think whatever has been going on in your career has not been working for you, maybe it's been causing you a lot of stress with the Nine of Swords being here. I feel this situation, this energy that's coming through for you is helping to kind of transition out of that energy and move into something new and different, okay? So the Death card definitely is symbolizing change. I think this change has been slow and steady. With the Death card being here, that's typically like, you know, a change that's been in the works now for a while. It's an inevitable change. It's a blessing in disguise. Something's coming to a conclusion here, right? You're closing out a chapter. You're closing out a cycle. Closing out a really major chapter. For some of you guys with the World, this could involve moving or relocating. It could have to do with more of like your life in general and some of the themes around your life at large versus just your career, whatever this new thing is that's coming through for you, this new energy. And I do see with the Two of Wands here that there's like partnership energy. This is expansion. This is a new beginning. Maybe you guys have a business partnership with someone that you're exploring. It could even be just entering into a new type of workplace. So the Nine of Swords is definitely telling me, though, that you guys have fear and anxiety around the situation that I think you're looking to work through here. Let's see. Maybe that's part of it. I mean, like the sixth house being ruled by Virgo, like this is definitely like stomach and digestion issues. Maybe you guys have been having issues with that kind of stuff because of your work, where it's just been stressing you out so much that it's impacting your physical health at times. And I see you really looking to remedy this. I keep saying that, but that just keeps coming up. So let's continue, pile 3. Tell us more, please. What's next for pile 3 in their career? Okay, we have the number 8. Structure is the compensation of karma towards success. We have get real, you saw it coming. Neutrality in the situation will lead you forward. Okay. Look at this. We have vamping. Those who linger when you want them to leave are feeding off your energy. Peer pressure, the vibes are off. See, there's definitely been a situation here that's been stressing you guys out. I do keep getting little kind of flips in my tummy as I'm tapping into your energy. So I definitely think the stomach and like anxiety, maybe like that type of stuff is really bothering you. We have pessimism. Your cup is not half empty. There is no cup. Only an ocean full of wonders. You know, I feel pile 1, like this stuff that you're going through in your career, like I don't want to say that it's not a big deal because you're entitled to feel how you want to feel, right? But I definitely think that there's a big problem here potentially with your mindset and the way that you're thinking about things. Because to me, when I'm tapping into this energy, it does not feel like it's all that bad, right? It seems like you are closing out a major cycle that's been stressing you out. It feels like you're on a path towards success here with this card being here. I think you're just in a place where maybe you're being asked to take a little bit of a higher level of accountability around your anxiety or the things that are stressing you out, the way you're choosing to think about things, right? Because pessimism is like when it's, you know, the cup is half full instead half empty. Like it's that mindset of like, well, it's almost gone, right? So maybe you guys kind of feel like you're losing out on something here. But the number 8 is Saturn. Structures the compensation of karma towards success. Right? So there's something that's being redirected here for you for a good reason, because the universe spirit wants you to be successful here. But this 9 of Swords, it's like, I think it's clouding your judgment here. Like the card even says, clouded judgment. We have Get Real. You saw it coming. So maybe there's been something, like this card talks about an inevitable change, blessings in disguise. So sometimes we don't always get what we want. You know what I mean? Sometimes we don't always get what we want. Sometimes things happen and we don't understand like how this is good for us in the moment. And so I think what this card is really talking about is trying not to let it impact you emotionally or negatively one way or the other, because being neutral is going to serve you in your highest good. Being neutral is going to help you to not stress and feel super anxious about things. Being more neutral and objective will prevent you from moving into a pessimistic mindset around it, which only brings you down and further stresses you out. You know what I mean? Let's see what else. For pile 3, what's next in their career, please? The Knight. Loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor, allegiance to a destructive ruler or principle, romantic delusions. Hold on. The child orphan again. This came up in pile 2. Independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving, feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate family. So it could be that you guys are choosing to like walk away from something here with the world. It could be, look, we have goddess energy here. Like I really feel pile 3, there's something about your physical well-being that is really like your balance, your work-life balance, your physical well-being, your wellness. Like I think that this is really important to you, this next phase in your career. And it could be that you guys are choosing to actually walk away from something that is no longer serving that for you. Because when I see this orphan child, I think of abandonment. I think of leaving something behind. Some of you guys, though, may struggle with abandonment energy when it comes to work. Something with your work, feeling left out in the cold, feeling like you're not included, feeling like you don't belong. But I feel like a lot of that is your mindset. We have the Knight here. To me, this is symbolizing some sort of an offer, some sort of an energy of like, it could be romantic energy or just some sort of helpful energy that's around you in your career that's positive, that's encouraging you to be more positive. It could be a new opportunity that maybe you feel is really positive for you. I mean, initially I was kind of getting that you're moving into a time of opportunity to be able to really heal from whatever it has been bothering you, to be able to rectify whatever has been causing problems for you in your situation here. But it's interesting because the shadow attribute talks about delusions, and this card is talking about keeping it real, right? Get real. You saw it coming, you know? So there could be something for this group to really be mindful of in terms of like the way you're thinking about it, not clouding your judgment. The 9 of Swords here is also talking about clouded judgment. Let's see. Pile 3. What's next for pile 3 in their career? What else do they need to know? Yes, you see? There's a new opportunity for you, pile 3. it's something that I think could be really healing, but it's all about how you choose to look at it. You know what I mean? Let's see. Now, the orphan child could also be talking about you really branching out on your own too, right? Because that card is stressing independence, going at it alone, you know, maybe not having a support system all around you, you know? We have HR issue, red flag. Okay. We have organizational savvy here at the bottom of the deck. So maybe there are just some red flags here. You know, but a red flag doesn't necessarily mean it's all bad. You know what I mean? It just means it's something to take note of. It's something to be mindful of. Maybe there's like a literal HR issue going on here that's causing you stress though too, you know? It's like your reading is so complex, pile 3, because on one hand, I feel like there's a lot of like negative energy here that feels like challenging, and it feels like you're going through like a tough situation in your career. But then on the other hand, there's this like blessed opportunity that's coming up for you that I feel is meant to help you heal and rectify this situation. Tell us more, please, for pile 3. What's next for their career? We have the main female. We have the journey. Ooh, we have the family room and the adjudication coming up with the wealthy man here at the bottom of the deck. So there's definitely this energy of like support. And like with the opportunity being here, it feels like it's something that is, this card is really beautiful to get in a career reading because it indicates doing something you really enjoy, something you really love versus having to work really hard doing something that you hate. You know what I mean? Let's see. So the main female I see is you, my viewer. It's like the significator. So regardless of what your gender is, that's how I view that card. This is you, your energy showing up here. You're the focus of this reading, right? And this, I also read it as like the situation and the way you're viewing it is all coming from you. It's coming from you, your mindset, the way you're looking at things. The journey is definitely talking about moving or relocating, or let's take a look in the guidebook actually. There's definitely like a change or travel coming up here. This stands for all forms of transit and vehicles, vacations, travel, escapes, and round trips. So some of you guys could be choosing to take some sort of a vacation as well. That could be where that travel energy is coming from. Leaving from an old and familiar situation and departing for new shores. This might concern your work, family, or relationships. Also could mean it's time for a trip. And this can talk about arrivals or departures. So that's kind of interesting. We also have the family room coming up here. Tell us more. This talks about private and closed spaces, apartments, privacy and intimacy, personal space like an apartment, motel room, or an office. So it seems like you're traveling to a new space. And then, oh, excuse me, guys. Sorry. I've been up since like 4 o'clock in the morning. So adjudication is like a neutral card, which is interesting because that's kind of what this card was talking about. There could be some sort of decision that you're making here with this HR red flag thing. Really trying to kind of like weigh all the options, make sure that you're evaluating things from a very like neutral perspective. This also is talking about like processes too, right? So like it's official. The card stands for like government officials, bureaucrats, clerks, school boards, zoning boards, and other types of boards or professional advisors. This can talk about fines or fees being issued, permits issued or denied, the need to file, serve, or be served documents, or the finalization of a small family matter. So he'll explain the process. So this can also talk about like server, therapist, arbitration, or negotiator. This person also goes, you go to them for any adjudicating disagreements. This can talk about tax, doctors, which makes sense. Remember, we're getting medical stuff here too. Interesting. But it does say the matter with this card, it suggests that the matter will finally be resolved. It doesn't indicate whether the outcome will necessarily be in your favor. Other cards in the spread will provide more indication of the possible outcome. To me, I think the possible outcome is, it seems to be really centered around the way you're looking at things, pile 3. Because I really see that there's this new opportunity coming in for you that looks really positive and really exciting. But I think there might just be some things about it that are causing you to second guess or just be unsure. So I feel like the biggest advice for you is just to try to remain neutral. You don't have to shift into toxic positivity, but you definitely don't want to be in a pessimistic mindset, because that's also a warped way of thinking about things. It seems like what Spirit is asking you to do is really look at things neutrally and factually as you navigate forward and make your decisions. So pile 3, I've rambled long enough. I think we're going to end your message here, but please comment below. Let me know if how this resonates and what you guys have planned in your career next. If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so you'll be updated once I post the next reading, and I look forward to seeing you there. Bye.